But it's also a great way for people to come together and ask questions without judgment. And I think that's a really important thing.
This is the Cowgirls Gathering 2023, which is held annually at the Kilkivan Showgrounds in Queensland, Australia.
When there's no halters, no saddles, no nothing, you're just left with the truth.
Welcome everyone to episode 112 of the Send Nutrition Podcast with your host Bryan today. And today we have a very special event to showcase, and it is the Cowgirls Gathering 2023. We have the director and founder of the event, Amanda Loy, with us today. And this is just under 2 weeks out from the event. How are you, Amanda?
Oh, I'm fabulous, Bryan. I'm all the better for speaking with you.
I love talking to you on the phone when we're trying to organise our way through this fantastic event. And for our listeners that are unaware, this is the Cowgirls Gathering 2023, which is held annually at the Kilkivan Showgrounds in Queensland, Australia, on typically the Queen's birthday, or technically now the King's birthday long weekend, and kicks off on the Friday, finishes off on the Sunday, the 1st of October. And in this event, there's not only competitions for prizes up in excess of $20,000, but also trade stalls, food vendors, live entertainment and demonstrations. But that's not just all about the gathering. There's also the classes, clinics, and scattered all around the showgrounds is a very good vibe of cowgirls in particular coming together and being there for each other and learning. And Amanda will get into what this event really is all about now.
Thanks, Bryan. Wow, I don't even know how I follow that. That was fabulous. Podcast over. Well done. Thanks again, Bryan. I think it's it's a wonderful thing to be able to do, for fellow horse women. I think bringing together this 3 days, there's a little bit for everything, and a little bit of exploration into things that you may not have done in the past in the way of breath and ice and how that affects our nervous systems. And, but it's also a great way for people to come together and ask questions without judgment. And I think that's a really important thing for all of us. We've got a bit of a motto at Cowgirls Gathering: come as you are. Whatever horse that you're riding, whatever gear that you wear, come along. It's not a place of judgment. It's just a place of belonging and being. And it's really, we talk about this a lot, but it gives you a feeling. Like when you're at the event, it's a feeling of belonging, and it's a feeling of a safe space. So we're really looking forward to it. But yes, we don't have much time to go. 2 weeks. Under 2 weeks by the time this airs.
It has come pretty thick and fast lately in the dates. But as Amanda has said, it's an inclusive event. Sen has been there from the beginning. This event keeps growing. As I understand, Amanda, as we were talking to before, it's going to be double the amount of people there since last year.
Yeah, we've actually been really lucky in the fact that most of our growth has been, organic. So we didn't, we have very strategically gone out and gone, well, okay, how many people does this look like? And it's doubled from our first event in 2021 to 2022 doubled, and 2023 is already doubled. So we're actually at that spot at the moment where we're just being really careful about still being able to provide a really, a really special place for people without it feeling like there's so many people there. So the growth and the uptake is, it is honestly something, it's just mind-blowing. It's such a good feeling.
It's an amazing achievement for this event, and the popularity. I know Magellan and I were there last year, and we probably need a heads up this year because we did sell out in the first day of some of our products, and our commitment has even gone higher this year with the sponsorship of the Liberty competition, and also we're taking part in an education session on the Saturday at 10 o'clock. I think we've decided on our title will be Simplifying Your Horse's Feed and How to Reduce the Risk of Ulcers in Your Horse, which is a really hot topic amongst a lot of performance horses. And we're just so thrilled to be invited back and also support in another major way, because it just feels like you guys are doing an amazing thing with this event. But also I think it's got to be reminded that it's not just restricted to ladies. Is that right?
Oh, couldn't agree more. And I think that's probably one of the biggest questions that we get is, hey, can I bring my husband, my boyfriend, my partner? And yeah, absolutely, it's not restricted. In our view, it's a safe space for women to come along. So we're very selective with regards to who we partner with, and we absolutely love partnering with Sen. It's been great to have you at all of the events, and we really do partner with people that want to be part of the conversation. So we do get a lot of sponsorship inquiries, if you will, about, how do we help? And it's like, well, are you going to come to the event? Can you come along and talk about, what's happening in the industry, and, how do we all be part of that solution? So partnering with Sen it was such an easy decision for me, and it's been great. I mean, I also look forward to our conversations, Bryan. I wasn't quite sure how this podcast was going to go.
Normally, I'm talking to you when you're feeding your horses.
That's actually very, very true. But I think it's one of those things that you go, how do we do it in such a way that it's different? How do we do it in such a way that it's what we want to see? How are we having those conversations in the industry? And you and I, we've had numerous conversations around racehorses and our Race to Ranch event that runs at the gathering. And, we certainly have seen firsthand, the letting down of racehorses and how to go about it. So rather than, sort of just publishing more information about it, how do we have that conversation with people who are buying and purchasing off the track thoroughbreds, to get them balanced, to get them right, to have their right let down. So to Sen to come along and spend as much time as you do with us, it's really, it's admirable, Bryan. I think it's just something that we just don't do enough, and it's quite easy to say, stay within our safe spaces and not have these conversations. But yeah, I appreciate it, that's for sure. And the horse appreciates it.
100%. We're there for them at the end of the day. And it was music to my ears, I think, this year even, Amanda, when I asked you, I just said, is there anything more Sen can do? And it's not like, oh, you're a feed company, throw money at it. You want a company that wants to immerse themselves, help the horse owner and get the best out of the horse, and also support, obviously, with prizes and be there. But yeah, it's not just throw money at it and forget. You guys want us to be part of the immersive experience, and it just feels right, because I think the first year in the event, we partnered up with Tanya Krause, who was one of our amazing ambassadors, and I've got to thank her for our invite to the Cowgirls Gathering as we were part of her stall, and we sponsored some of the riders in the Race to Ranch event, and we came along, had a look, and we just loved the atmosphere, and that was a mini Cowgirls Gathering compared to what's going to be on in 2 weeks' time. And it just gives me goosebumps with the growth you've achieved, Amanda. And I just can't wait to get my team there, and we will be loving to see all the support that we have at the gathering. And also, if anyone hasn't or doesn't know much about the Sen nutrition products, they can just feel free and say hello and get as much information about them as well.
Absolutely. And I think the amount of time that you guys spend there, and, I don't know, just give away your time so freely. I mean, Tanya Krause, I do definitely need to give a shout out to. She'll be back at the gathering for her third year this year. She's doing quite a few things on the program this year, which is amazing, with the, cowboy dressage and some other demonstrations through the weekend. So it's going to be great to catch up. But that's kind of also how it feels at this point too, Bryan. Like, it's kind of like, wow, it's just a really good opportunity to see people, that we don't get to see from a day-to-day perspective, to come together and, think about, the horse industry and how can we help. So, and Sen certainly answers that for us.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely a great area to get feedback on certain conditions that people are having trouble with their horses. Tanya Krause and Phil Monaghan, her partner, they've been instrumental at spreading the word about the Sen products, and they're perfect examples of why Sen is so effective with horses and helping specific conditions and trying to lower that risk of all the certain conditions that a performance horse can be susceptible at through your daily feeding or your daily supplementation. So I just love connecting with people and telling them things about their horse that they probably weren't suspecting, or they hadn't had time to learn, and trying to simplify it so everyone can understand it, and then it benefits the horse at the end of the day. And yeah, man, I'm just really excited to be a part of it. I know Magellan is equally excited, and she was there from the first year as well. And I think it's going to be a great event. As I'm going through,
I agree, mate. Don't forget to double your stock.
As I go through this jam-packed program, you've got the main arena and the camp draft arena, and also the demonstration tents and the bar, which has, I think that's the bar area and the main part, but it's all jam-packed. What are some of the highlights that you see through that program?
Well, at 8 o'clock on Friday, no, I'm joking. And then at 10. Look, there was always parts in the elements that you're naturally attracted to. I love watching the Liberty. Like, it is just, that relationship between horse and owner. And when there's no halters, no saddles, no nothing, you're just left with the truth. So, for me to see that always gives me goosebumps. And that's going to be over both the Friday and the Saturday. The Open's actually going to be on the Saturday afternoon this year, which is lovely. But the cow horse events really, excite me as well. Like, there's a, Rain Cow Pony Clinic and a Rain Cow Pony competition. That's exciting. But certainly seeing the ladies come out with their horses and their costumes and give the Liberty a crack is, it's something to watch. And we're super lucky that Saturday night we've got a bit of a live show happening at the main arena at 6 o'clock. And that's just friends of friends that are coming together that said, hey, you know what, we'd love to do this for you guys. And, that generosity just, goes above. I think for me, to see the generosity of community coming together to donate time and space and products and everything is just admirable. I mean, we're all donating our time to the events and, doing that in such a way where we're just trying to make a difference. So Saturday night's going to be, another one of those examples, which is fantastic. We've also got the Horsemen's Collective coming up from, Victoria. They're going to be there having conversations through the weekend as well. So a lot of great partners that are coming along to the event. That highlights for me certainly Liberty and anything that's got a cow in it, Bryan. Oh, when are you going to start doing cow supplements? Nah, just joking.
I think there's a little bit of a crossover already, but no, I think it's that Saturday. I think it might be gates closed there because you probably will be at capacity.
Oh, I think so. I think by the time that this podcast airs, Saturday will be at capacity. There will be a few 3-day tickets left, and certainly tickets for Friday and the Sunday. So it's a really good opportunity if people are not sure about Cowgirls Gathering and they just want to come along for the day. They certainly can. Day tickets does include either a night before or night after accommodation, accommodation being camping. But it also allows them to come and just experience it. So rather than come to the 3 days. As this progresses, we see a lot of people that come to the first event and said, hey, I'm just going to come and check it out. I just want to know what this is all about. And the second year, these beautiful women are saying to us, hey, this year I'm bringing my horse. I'm not quite sure if, I'm going to ride or, I'm going to bring my horse and see how that all goes. And then this year, these same women are saying to me, Amanda, I'm coming along. I'm bringing my horse. I'm going in this clinic. I'm going to enter in this competition. So, when you think about the feeling or the success factors, if you will, of an event, I don't know if there could be anything more better than that. I just feel that is really helping people and their horses enjoy a space. It's just, it just gives me goosebumps.
Yeah, they gain confidence. They get that empowerment from what you've created, and it's just great to see on a human perspective. And obviously we're honouring the horse at the end of the day as well. And how good is it camping with your horse at an event? And I think from Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday nights is the camping, and I think the glamping was all sold out pretty quickly.
Yeah, it really did this year. That went pretty quick. So all the glamping sites have set out, but we have got a list of, other accommodation options around Kilkivan. But we find that a lot of people that do camp on the grounds definitely get the most out of it. Like, we've got some amazing entertainment, that's coming along. We've got, Brooklyn and James singing on the, Friday night, Saturday night, Rhinestones, Sunday night, the Mud Band. There is, and actually we haven't told anyone.
Do I have an exclusive on the podcast?
It does feel that way. But beautiful Brittany, ahead of a director of all things Celebrate, which entertainment sits underneath. She just released a Cowgirls Gathering song.
Wow.
Oh, I know. And so I'm going to start probably, putting it out over the socials over the next couple of weeks. But it's one of those songs that you hear and it just gives me goosebumps. It's just a perfect capture of the event and what we're about. And it sounds amazing. She sounds so good. But, that's probably also a very good opportunity to give a shout out to Sky. Sky's our education director and obviously the person who's pulled together this whole entire program. And a little bit similarly, both of those ladies have been, sort of with me since the very first year. Sky competed in Race to Ranch. Brittany competed in Race to Ranch the first year. But they've really got a sense and a feeling for this event and certainly do a lot for it. So big shout out to them. And to the amazing Jen I met actually because she was my old neighbour when I lived at Stanford many years ago. But Jen does just the most amazing job at transforming a showground into a space that you really want to sit at. And I mean, and you've been, how it feels.
Oh, it's
like
brilliant.
She does just such a good job. And to walk into a showgrounds and kind of go, you know what, I fit here, I feel comfortable here. She really does a great job. So she's been working really hard with vendors and food and drink vendors and obviously styling the space. So there definitely would not be a Cowgirls Gathering without Sky, Brittany and Jen. So I appreciate them so much and everything they do for the gathering.
That's really exciting. You got a theme song coming.
Mm-hmm.
And even I saw the update on social media that you do have another alternative logo to the old one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I did change the branding a little bit this year. I still have the scrolly logo that I created nearly 4 years ago now, Bryan. Geez.
Very fancy.
But it is rather fancy. But, yeah, something a little bit more simplistic. I felt that the Fireside brand and Cowgirls Gathering did a little bit more of a simplistic look and certainly keeps us real. I think it's a nice representation of the gathering. So thank you. It's a bit of a work in progress, and I think that's one of the joys when you're working with brand. You can, kind of explore and see where it goes, but it's working well for us so far. So we shall keep on the same path. Yeah,
it's fantastic. I think they both complement each other nicely, and when you see the original logo on a hat, you straight away go, oh, that's a Cowgirls Gathering trucker hat, because it's just so well recognised. And I think the new one, from a branding perspective, brings that simpler look, cleaner look. But I think you've nailed it, Amanda. I've shown my staff, even Magellan. She really likes the new one. So yeah, no, it's
I will have something for her when I see her.
So let's delve a little bit deeper, Amanda, into why Cowgirls Gathering and how it all started, and when did you get this idea of this event?
Yeah, I guess it's something that's been sort of ticking around in my mind for a very long time. My beautiful friend Tracy, got invited to the Art of the Cowgirl in America, and we spent, together we were spending probably 2 to 3 trips a year in America, going to various different events and writing with different sort of clinicians. And I guess the Art of the Cowgirl was what got it really cracking up. Like, it was kind of like, geez, and anyone who would listen to me, I'm like, Australia needs this. Someone should do this in Australia. And whilst it's not the same, it's certainly been an inspiration for the event for Cowgirls Gathering. I guess, I was seeing a lot of people going to, clinics and different events, and there were a lot of events that were being created that, it was good to go and listen to, but I guess I just didn't want a VIP section. I didn't want clinicians come in for X time and leave. I didn't want, people that, had the right information with, whether that's horse supplements or training or gear, but a space that everyone could come together and have conversations about how it's all connected. So that's really the driver for it. In the early days, it was kind of like, I'll put it on for the first year and I'll see how it goes. And, and I think it just kind of took a life of its own. So now it's kind of like it sort of drives itself, by year 3, it's, kind of getting a bit more momentum in the aspect of people knowing about it. So it makes it a lot easier. But for me, it's really about creating a safe space for people to come together and, ask the questions that they might not normally ask in a larger sort of environment, be that, at a different clinic or, a competition, and also just come along and give it a go. Like, come on, give it a try. It's okay. Getting into that arena some days is success. Like, that's okay. Bringing your horse to a gathering and not riding it, that's success. That's okay. Like, it's just about breaking down, what we sense success looks like, because we're in a state of comparison. For me, it's just a sense of, how do we just do a little bit better and head towards the goals that we all have individually? It's certainly not an environment for comparison, that's for sure.
I think it's an environment for celebration of being with each other and supporting each other around the horse and centering around that and trying to do the best you can. And I just love that no comparison, because there's so much of it now on social media that I think we lose sight of who we are and what we should be doing for our inner being. And Amanda, I think what you've created has to be commended, because you're doing something right by the popularity of this. And yeah, I'm just happy that Sen can be a part of it and give it even more exposure on our platform. Not about forcing people to jump onto our products or feed or that. It's about Sen being there to help a horse owner understand a certain condition about their horse, and then we have an option that someone may or may not want to take, but then we just outline the facts and try and help that horse owner understand to the best of their ability. And Sen is set up in the horse industry as kind of a different brand that is not, it's still a family-owned company, not corporatized, but we do things a little bit different, and every part of our feeding and supplement range is there for a reason and not just there to get $1 out of someone. It's there for the horse itself, and there's a reason why we feed it. And the success we've had Australia-wide, it's been amazing. And with all the supporters, including Tanya Kraus and our ambassadors, it's been a very good ride, and we can't thank you enough for letting us be a part of the Cowgirls Gathering as well.
Oh, you're so welcome, Bryan. I think about, a lot of things that you've said in that around, family owned, for the horse, and that fits with Cowgirls Gathering ethos. My husband, Sean, and I, sponsor the event, and, we just love it. Like, and we think about the fact that, yes, it's a lot of hours, and yes, it's a lot of time and emails and conversations, but to see the look on women's faces going, oh, geez, those Sen guys were really cool. Like, did you know that? Like, and it's like, there's no one's forcing any product. No one's trying to do, a disservice. And I think about that, probably, I've got to be careful with my words a little bit from the corporate viewpoint.
Yeah.
I'm personally not in the horse industry. Like, I have horses. I have a lot of horses. I love them. But I don't have an agenda. I don't have a business that, I'm trying to drive people to because of Cowgirls Gathering. No, I'm actually just doing it for the love of it. Like, it is just simply, and I get that feeling from Sen. Like, I get that feeling that you guys are in it for the right reasons, and that's the reason why this partnership works so well. And, and I think once you get to a stage with, your partners in, this environment, you can have those open conversations and go, hey, this really works for us and this doesn't work for us. And I don't know, the conversations, when they become really easy and open, then I know we're working with the right people. So I can't thank Sen enough for everything that they've been doing for the Cowgirls Gathering. And Bryan, I certainly hope that the relationship goes on for as long as it's able, that's for sure.
Yeah, no, I certainly think it will. And like, just going back there, my vested interest is the horse itself. At Sen, we know that there are many ways to feed a horse, and this is our way and our success that we've had. And if you have a certain condition that you're having issues with, we do have solutions there that you may be able to apply. And at the end of the day, we're just trying to get as many horses as happy and as healthy in their chosen fields. And I think we've touched on a lot in this podcast now, Amanda. I think
we could probably
settle in.
And knowing our previous conversations, we probably could. But it would be like, what did you do on Wednesday? Well, I had that one call with Bryan. That was fun. But I just want to congratulate Sen. I mean, geez, I don't know who's in control of your marketing these days, but geez, I'm finding the video very, very funny and engaging. So keep it lighthearted, keep doing what you love. And I think it just shines out all of our eyeballs when you're really working on something that you truly believe in. It doesn't feel like work. It actually just feels like fun. And that's certainly Cowgirls Gathering for me. Mutual feelings here about that. When you have a passion, you want the best result, and it just comes easy. It's not a job. You could spend hours on it and be fulfilled, because you're not looking at the clock or anything like that. It's a feel good thing when you get results for people, and you said you've changed their lives, or you've simplified their feeding, or fixed a condition. It's so enriching when you can help someone else achieve their goals. And I think, as we touched on before, I think Cowgirls Gathering has a fantastic future ahead. Is there any last words, Amanda, that you'd like to part us with? Oh, we'd just love to see you. We'd love to see you. We'd love you to be part of the gathering. If there's, anything that you have a question about, feel free to call. The phone's running hot, but certainly we do love talking to people, and we couldn't think of anything more rewarding than someone calling us and saying, hey, I wasn't kind of sure about this. I'm not sure if it's right for me. Can you tell me a little bit more about it? So definitely feel free to call. You can reach us through our social media channels on Facebook and Instagram, and there's obviously a website as well. So we'd love to hear from you. But thank you so much, Bryan, and thank you so much to Sen.
We can't thank you guys enough. And I'll definitely put the links in our show notes with all the contact details for the Cowgirls Gathering. I think when this is published, there'll be less than 13 days to go. So if you're considering coming along, just checking it out or getting really immersed in it, you know where to find Amanda and her team. And I think that will wrap it up. It is lunchtime. It's not gin o'clock, because it's not it is before Friday.
See, that's what happens when you don't work for corporate. So you can kind of think like that now, can't you?
Correct.
No, I'm joking.
No.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you, Bryan.
Yeah, and I think if anyone's a first-time listener to the Sen nutrition podcast. We've got another 111 episodes. We got people going through them. We know there's various topics, special guests, even horse management, not just nutrition. People are finding very valuable. And anyone on that weekend at Cowgirls Gathering, just come up to the stand. You don't have to buy anything. Just say hello, have a conversation. We're really happy just to connect with as many people as possible. And
exactly, my friend, exactly. No, it's going to be great. Well, thank you so much, Bryan. You're very generous with your time, as always. I, for one, know that I'll be looking forward to your demonstration.
Thank you.
On Saturday at 10 a.m. I think that will also be a highlight of my weekend. So Thank you.
That's right. Magellan and I have got a few things lined up, and it'll be a nice presentation, and hopefully someone will learn something about their horse that they didn't know before. So it'll be fantastic. So thanks so much, Amanda, for your time. Thanks for letting Sen be involved, and we will see everyone on the Cowgirls Gathering weekend on the Friday the 29th.
Queen's birthday weekend.
That's right.
Thanks,
see
Bryan.
you guys. Thank you.